This video, I'm going to show you how you set triggers to remind you or your team of certain tasks, either before, during, or before, the day of, or after a task. So to put this in context, within your opportunities pipeline, you have an ability to click on a card, and within that opportunity, you can set a task. So for example, here we could say a follow-up phone call, and you could put in the description, reviewing proposal, and you can assign it to a particular user on your team, okay? And then you can set a due date, okay? So in this case, we're going to use the 6th of November, and we'll update that, which will save the task. So that task will sit on the dashboard area, and if you're checking your dashboard daily, then you'll see the tasks coming up. So as you can see here, I'm on my dashboard area here, and I can see the tasks assigned to me, and I can look at just the pending tasks if I wanted to, and these are the list here. So what you can do with your triggers is actually set a reminder to you instead of just having to look at the dashboard. So this is an optional thing to do, and this is how you do it. So you go into your triggers area, and we're going to set up a new basic rule here as a demonstration, and we're going to call this task reminder. And we'll say this is day of task. Okay, so this is how you do it. You choose a trigger here. Well, I'm going to, as I always do, put this in activate. Choose a trigger. Right down the bottom, you'll see task reminder. And you can put on here, add filter, and this is where you would choose either before number of days or after number of days. So if you wanted to remind you a certain number of days before, you would put this number in here. So this would be, for example, 3 days before. And you can do the same thing with days after. If you make this 0, then it will remind you on the day of the task. So when the day of the task arrives, then the actions on the right will be taken place. So how would you use this? Let's have a look at an example here. I can add an action, and I could, for example, send an email from myself to myself, or you could send, you just use a different email address and then you send it to yourself at your business email, or whoever you want it to be notified of the task reminders, or you could send it to multiple people. You can put in here task reminder or whatever you want to be the subject of that email. And then in the email itself, you can actually add custom values. So you could put in task due today. And then in custom values, you go in here and you go to task down the bottom, and you can insert the title. You can insert the description, and you can insert the due date. So if you know what those are, that's fine. Otherwise, you could put it in like this, task title, and put that in there. So it says what it is, task description, and it will literally say task description, and then it will say, in my case, reviewing proposal, and then you could put in here due date, and it will say the due date, which on this particular reminder would be irrelevant because we know it's due today by setting what it is, okay? So that is how you use the triggers to remind you or your team about tasks. And then you just hit save on that, and you can set other triggers, but this is the very basics of how to send yourself an email reminder. You can do other actions such as sending an SMS or any of the other normal options that you have for triggering certain tasks.